Hey guys, Sam7 here, and I'm really hyped to get this race going. Longshore, Moto 2, and the reason I'm so hyped is because I'm editing and recording the announcements for all of the last wildcard races today, so I'm extremely excited. The regular season, at least in terms of recording, is going to be done today for me, and in a few days for you guys, possibly one day. Anyways, we're green here at Longshore Moto 2. Pretty close hole shot. It looks like Rebel definitely got the hole shot there, but is he going to be first going into the corner? No, I think Fireball's actually going to take over it from Rebel, and then Rebel gets cheesed as well. I'm not exactly sure who did that. It was very hard to tell from that angle exactly who it is. I could get better insight. Let me go into the field. It was whoever was in second place, cheesed him super hard. But Fireball, he didn't really, I'm not even sure if he got the hole shot first moto, but second moto he was second. But regardless of who got the hole shot, he was first place coming out of the second corner in both motos. So even though he didn't get the hole shot, still very good starts considering the fact that he was in first, crossing the finish line in the first lap for both motos. So definitely, even though he's not getting the hole shots, he's still winding up on top in those starts, and that's good practice for Fireball. If he's going to get his first win next season, I think something that'll be very beneficial for him. And this goes for a lot of the drivers that are in like a Fireball type skill range. It might have been Cat that cheesed Rebel. Like, I still can't tell from this exactly. It might be very beneficial for them to practice those starts, get good on those starts, and because faster drivers on the track tend to not focus on starts as much because they're so fast that they can make it up. Except for, I mean, in some cases they will, but they're not gonna. Generally, people that are like the fastest on the track aren't gonna be like start specialists. So if you're a person of like average speed, get good on those starts, man. Get good on those starts and take advantage of it from there. I might have actually been wrong about Fireball. I think, now that I think about it, I think Cat was actually the person in first, and Fireball cheesed Rebel, and Fireball's now in the lead. And yeah, I believe that's right. So sorry, I was a little wrong at first, but yeah, it was actually Cat in the lead who just got overtaken by Fireball, and I'm pretty confident that Fireball was the one that cheesed Rebel. Sorry, it's really hard to tell. Both of these guys are white, and running pretty similar gooses. At least from the top, it looked very similar. Obviously, at this angle, it's very easy to distinguish between the two. Yeah, it gets a little bit hard with some of those higher angles when people have similar Spartan colors, and the fact that the screen that I'm recording this on is not in full screen. It's very, very small, actually. So it gets a little hard for me to point people out. If I mess something up, I'm sorry. Anyways, Ump is in third. Cat is now in second, which is not bad for him. I mean, the fact that he lost the lead kind of sucks, but the fact that he's in second, it's still not horrible for Cat. I mean, he's just looking for pretty good finishes, getting good momentum. Going into the Champ Series. Rebel, on the other hand, is here in fourth, so good recovery for Rebel, but at the same time, he's going to need to put his head down here, and he's going to need to battle hard and just try his hardest to get into that lead. Definitely going to take some endurance, some perseverance out of Rebel here to go through this race and get by these drivers and take that moto win, because he's definitely 100% going to need a moto win on the night, and I think even most people would expect Rebel to get it here in the Supercross and not in the GP, or at least he wouldn't want to rely on the GP. So looking to get it done early as possible here. Cat seems to be one of the few drivers that actually opts for that outside line. Very interesting to watch Cat's line around the track, because not only does he opt for the outside in that split, he also goes extremely outside in the first corner, and he loses a lot in the beginning, but he actually gains quite a bit at the end. So I'm not exactly sure if it's the fastest line, but it kind of evens out. Very interesting line out of Cat. I don't think it's where he loses his time in the track. Sometimes it even works too in battles. It sets him up for a perfect crossover. So definitely interesting seeing these different lines come out of the drivers, especially Cat. He's just had some creative line choices here. Watching Rebel trying to get by Ump. He's running pretty fast here. He's all over Ump's bumper, just trying to find a glimmer of light and work his way through. But he's going to have to make this pass at the right moment, and once it pops up, he cannot let it slip. So we're going to have to watch and see what he can do here. Oh no, Rebel getting cheesed in the whoop section yet again. The whoops are the bane of his existence here at Longshore, because it was just whoops just again. He was going really fast. He was trying to catch up to Ump, and Ump had a lower run, I guess you could say, in the whoops. Like he got to the ground quicker, whereas Rebel was really quick and in the air. He was airborne and completely on the gas, and he just ended up getting over on top of Ump and ended up wrecking, which is just unfortunate. We also saw Detail getting some cheese with Cat and get by him, so Detail making moves, trying to have himself another solid moto here. And here we go to Fireball. Fireball currently your leader, and he was in the same position in the first moto. We'll have to see if he can do something different this time. In the first moto, he had the lead for quite a while, but then he started to fall apart, got some lap cheese, and just was never able to recover. We'll have to see if he's able to mix it up in this moto. Maybe he can actually get by that lap traffic and pull off a win here. He gets by NSA, Turkey there quite easily, so that's a good start for Fireball. Next up is actually NSA on his list of people to lap. NSA having a really wide run right there in the exit of that corner. And there goes Fireball. He's going to go on the inside. This is his move. He's got to get by this lapper. Decent run through the whoops, going through the inside. NSA's on the outside, and yeah, it looks like Fireball is going to have it. So good play out of him right there to go on NSA's inside, get by that lapper. The more lappers that he clicks off and forgets behind him is better for him. Vulcan also does a good job lapping and just lets him by. So Fireball, this is exactly what he wants, is to have lappers be this courteous to him. And it's definitely working out in his favor at the moment. Having a little bit of an easier time through the field. Nice to see some lappers actually lap effectively, because one of the things that we're going to definitely try to find a solution to, we're going to work together to try to find a solution to in the off season, is we're going to try to find a solution to the whole lap driver problem. Oh my god, Vulcan and NSA, what the cheese was that? That was like just as cool as Fireball's wreck at the end of the first moto that I replayed. That was just an interesting wreck. And speaking of which, Ump is your leader right now. What happened to Fireball? Let's go back here. Gets really loose and just gets a bad run and ends up going down on the jump. Oh, that is horrible. And Ump made a perfectly timed, opportunistic move to get by those lap drivers. And now look at Fireball. He's stuck behind the lappers again, and he has to get by them again and then worry about Ump. And he's already getting slowed down by the lappers. This is just a horrible situation to be in if you're Fireball. You gotta be pissed if you were him. If he doesn't make that one mistake, I mean, heck, he could be out here with just a huge lead right now if he doesn't make that one mistake. But now he's in second place and he's got a huge gap to make up, and Detail's even close behind him. Man, if you're Fireball, you really gotta be pissed at yourself right now. You can't blame it on lap cheese like the first moto. That was not lappers. The lappers did a great job lapping for him. That was 100% him, and he's definitely gonna be pissed about that. Possibly some motivation though for him to come back in the future and run cleaner races, more consistent, and not have those little mistakes that end up costing you the highest position. Really love watching those two different lines in the split even out. I always think that split's fun to watch when you get two drivers that run the different lines. Here we go, Detail catching up to NSA, one of the lappers, so we're going to have to see, is Detail going to get by him? Yep, there we go, on the inside, but NSA is taking that outside, cheeses himself a little bit. I think he's trying to let Detail by, so there Detail goes, gets the lead, or sorry, gets third place. Here we go to Fireball, who makes yet another mistake, and look at that, Detail's right on him now. Detail is right directly behind Fireball, only a goose length or two behind him. Fireball just making costly mistakes in this second moto, and it could give up second place position for him. Detail is right there trying to make moves, not having any kind of opening yet, not able to really do anything yet. Both running pretty even through the last corner, so these two drivers, as you can tell, are both pretty fast. No definitive faster driver here yet. Detail, Fireball, both pretty even through the whoops as well. You see they run similar lines through the split. These guys are both on rails right now, and it's definitely going to be difficult for Detail to actually pass Fireball. Fireball's actually gaining the gap a little bit, then gets a little bit of second gear, it looks like. Detail comes back around, and he's getting by Fireball, or at least trying to get by him, still right behind him. Detail trying to hunt down that second place position while Ump has just a huge lead at this point. We're getting pretty far into the Moto. Ump has a very good chance of getting his first Moto win here, but Detail trying to fight for every position. In fact, if Detail even gets that second place, Ump will actually have the overall as well, so that's really unfortunate for Detail, but really fortunate for Ump because a Moto win and an overall is going to be huge for him to qualify for the Champ Series. He'll likely need another Moto win, but getting a Moto and an overall would still be big for him. And Detail is all over Fireball. He's definitely faster than him, at least in the last few laps. He's trying to make a move. There he goes, going to the inside, cuts it a little short of the berm. This could be the move for Detail. Fireball tried to move down to protect the position, but he ends up going down himself. Wow, that is just unfortunate for Fireball, but huge for Detail. Good for him to get that second place position. But here we go to Ump, your leader, and he has just been clocking away laps in this lead. And just a great run overall for Ump if he's able to take this win, pulling some whips off across that last jump. Although Detail is not that far behind, if Ump were to make a critical mistake here, I think Detail is actually in the range to where he could catch up and then possibly make a move. I don't think he could just pass him while wrecking, but I think he could catch up and then make a move afterwards. So it would have to take a huge mistake regardless, but here we are to the white flag, and it's looking like it's not going to happen. Ump has clear track in front of him. Coming to his first Moto win, just needs to stay steady, no knees weak, no palms sweaty. I'm kidding, that was a stupid reference. All right, here we go, last corner, or sorry, 2 more corners. Now we go through the last corner. That whole Eminem reference just screwed me up. And checkered flag, Ump takes it. His first Moto victory and his first overall victory here at Longshore. Detail takes second. Fireball with another podium position, so still a good finish for him, but unfortunate. I think he could have done way better there. I honestly think he could have won. Cat with 4th, Rebel with 5th, NSA 6th. And then coming around in 7th, we're going to have Turkey, 8th Vulcan, 9th HT, 10th Commando, and 11th Flame. Congrats to Ump on the Moto win and the overall victory. Hope you guys enjoyed that Longshore Stadium Moto. Wildcard's interesting. See you next time.